Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be another exciting conversation and in an exhilarating direction because we are doing like 3 in 1, right? We're talking about how to get into a career in data analytics. We are talking about life as a remote worker and of course how to get international roles so that when we open 2025, we get those dollars. Anyway, I have my very beautiful and brilliant friend Adibola Mariam Adeoti. Hi Mariam, how are you today?
I'm good. Hi, man of faith. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, and thanks for inviting me
You're
on your
welcome.
channel.
You're welcome, my friend. She's a YouTuber too. I'm going to link her YouTube in the description. Please watch her YouTube channel, especially if you are looking to start a career in data analysis. If you are just a girly living in Lagos, she creates a lot of lifestyle and career content, and I'm sure you'll find exciting.
Yep.
Great. So to kick off on a very relaxing note, tell me something random about you.
Obsessed with crime movies.
Yeah, I can agree. I can testify to that.
Really obsessed. And sometimes I don't like telling people because they're like, "Why are you watching crime movies? Do you want to come to?" But I think I just really like how curious it gets me when I watch this kind of movies, and also how people think when they're trying to like do something really, really bad. Yeah, and also how like the good guys try to like catch the bad guys. Like, I really just like the feel. So I'm really, really obsessed with crime movies. Yeah.
I should be worried. But we have been friends for 10 years, and guys, don't worry, she's normal. She's very normal, I promise you. Everything exists just in her imagination. Another Gerard to that is that Mariam is extremely analytical. I mean, we'll get into that when we get into data. So, Mariam analyzes things in processes, and she also thinks in zeros and ones. So, watching crime movies.
Yeah, maybe that's actually one of the reasons why. Because I'm also just trying to understand why the good guys, like what they're trying to do and like get to like their goal of like catching the bad ones. So, but I really do, and I also get to like learn like things, which is also one of the core skills as a data analyst, like just being analytical, asking the right questions, and also finding your way in like answering them.
That's exactly. I'm very happy to know that. So let's start from career. You studied economics at Obafemi University.
It looks like that.
Someone reminded me of Ratchet's effect in relative income hypothesis. Do you remember that? Sorry.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, show the one that I study economics. What's one thing that you remember?
I mean, there's the needs and wants. I think with my adulting now, I'm starting to really recognize, okay, with T-Pain, like, what are the needs? What are your wants? And those are like the key concepts in like in economics. The other one will probably be the concept of like unlimited wants, or is it needs, where your wants will keep increasing, but then the resources to like
Okay, so like
is limited, so you then have to like think of how to like manage
of scarcity to resources in economics.
Yeah, exactly, that's it.
I started for like showing off because I mean one of my favorite. I loved microeconomics a lot versus macroeconomics.
Yeah.
I remember relative income hypothesis, the one that talks about the fact that your propensity to consume rises directly
With your income.
with your income rise. So if you're earning 1 million naira today, which we'll be learning about how to earn, because some people here are earning more than that, but you're earning 1 million naira today and you're spending 200 naira, if you're earning 1 million naira, you spend 200,000 naira on food.
Cost.
Right, when you move to 1.5, nothing has happened though. You're not married, you not get pregnant, you not give birth, but suddenly, that suya that you never order will suddenly look nice to you. That burger that you don't touch suddenly looks nice to you. You suddenly, one chicken will suddenly not be enough for you again. Yeah, so it's called relative income in economics.
Or you feel like you need to go on solo date.
Right. To Cappadocia. No, man, you that every evening, you just cook food.
Chicken Republic, yeah, okay.
That's how you remember that their jollof rice is bland. It's not you.
Like, no, I can't do this. Let me get something better. I worked for this.
I worked for it, yes. It's actually, there's a theory backing it up in economics. Yeah, so coming back from economics to data analysis, I won't say, oh, walk us through the transition because you can watch that on our channel. I just say, for the purpose of those that are watching this, what are 3 major things you think you did that helped you in career transition?
I think the first one is that I was willing to like learn. And not just learn and learn by myself, like learn from people that have been in industry way ahead of me, right? And I was also interested in just knowing the things that they did that can also help me in my own journey. So I did a lot of like asking questions, even from like technical and like non-technical people, and I think that really, really helped. I think the second thing is also because there's a goal I have in my mind.
I want to know. I want to know.
Because transitioning into any career can be hard, right? And sometimes people give up way too early because it's just hard and they just resort back to what they were used to. But I think for me, I had a goal in mind and I was willing to like do anything in achieving that goal. And I think I also did like the mental preparation for that. So when those things happen, there are things that I already imagined in my mind. And I already also, in some ways have some things that I need to do to make things much easier for me. Right. I mean, one of them is sharing with my friends about my transition. And I do this even with my YouTube because I feel like whatever you want to do, you do not have to do it alone. I mean, I'm house hunting and I created a WhatsApp group and I had a few friends that just got out their
New
apartments
apartment.
recently. So like I'm learning from them. Like I do not have to be interacting
Exposed,
exactly. So I think that also helped. The third thing is probably I'm not religious, but also just the God factor, right? And I'm really really grateful that I did that because now that a lot of people even reach out to me, sometimes when people reach out to me and they're like, oh, I've done this, I've done that, but they're still not getting like the jobs that they want. I feel really bad for them because I'm like, I didn't even do half of this, right? So there's also that God factor, to be honest, whether you like it or not. So if you're someone that is also looking to like transition, be willing to learn, try to prepare mentally for the hard work because it will be hard.
I love that you're emphasizing on that. Yes,
Yeah.
guys, hard work. Before we earn dollars, we have to work hard.
Yeah, and the third thing would be the God factor. And I think the final thing would be don't try to compare your journey with others. So sometimes you might see a video of like, oh, I got my first data analyst role after 4 months.
And you're there 8
Do
months.
not compare yourself because that person that is saying 4 months, maybe they have some previous work experience and those like the skills that they've gotten from those experiences
Most
really helped them.
transferable. Or they have an uncle.
Exactly, or they have, or one of their aunties is a politician.
And they'll not come and say it.
They will not say it exactly.
channel.
So there are also like other things people don't share. But if you're comparing yourself with others, you sometimes people just feel like, oh, they don't know stuff, or maybe they're not getting it right. This part is not for them. But really, you just needed to be patient and just focus on your own path.
This, I love that you spotlighted that. So, what does a data analyst do?
So in simple terms, what we do is essentially just to help people to make sense of their data, right? So there's like a database of 1,000 rows or 2,000 rows. What are like the key insights that as a stakeholder, as a CEO in the company can pick to help them to plan for their businesses? So that's essentially what data analysts what they do. So they help with like cleaning the data to be sure that we have the right data. Then they help with like just looking through the data to see if there are like key patterns or like key insights, then present in a way that someone that doesn't understand data would be able to say, okay, this is what we should do in the next quarter. Yeah, that kind of thing.
That's looks simple and straightforward. I promise you it's not. But it's also very pivotal because I mean we do a lot of HR analytics. Yes, so I understand. I can notice these trends and then use that to make very good decisions. I would love you to touch about the difference between data science, data analytics, and maybe data engineering, if you can.
Okay, so data science is like
An house.
yes, like the parents or like an example I also like to use is like when we're in secondary school, there's like the science class.
And then we have
And
integrated science.
exactly. Then you have chemistry, biology. So data science is like the broad feed. Then you have data analytics. Then you have data engineering. Then you have data architects. Then you have business analytics. Yeah, like they're just different branches. But what each one of them is doing is really around data, right? So for data analysis, and the responsibilities for these roles also vary across different industries and companies. There are some data analysts that what they're essentially doing is the work of data scientists, right? But in their company, they call them data analysts, right? And that's why it's also important for you not to be so fixed on like the on the titles.
Job title.
Yeah.
Rather than focus on
exactly on what they do. So for data analysis or data analytics, so data analytics is like the science that covers like the tools we use, the processes, in really just understanding data, and making sense of that data, then communicating to like different stakeholders, right? But like for data science, so data scientists, they do the work of like a data architect, business analyst, data engineering. They do it all together. But also in some companies, for data analysis, like I said, these things are not so fixed. I mean, I've spoken to some data scientists that what they essentially do is around using the current data and using different tools in predicting what will happen in like 5-10 years. So they use a lot of like statistics in their work. They do a lot of like machine learning, and the rest. But for data engineering, what they do essentially is around building structures and collecting.
I was going to say infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yes.
In collecting the data. So they barely do like the dashboard, communicating with stakeholders. They don't do that. And that not that I think data engineering is also more technical, and that's why most times when people want to like launch their career in data, they start with data analysis because the tools, because the tools that they also use is something that sometimes people have used in their past life, not like their past life,
like their previous careers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Excel. I know some data analysts that's the only thing they use in their company. Yeah, for data analysis, and they're making their money, and they do not see any need to learn like other tools. Exactly. SQL. I mean, the reason why people will say you should learn all these other tools is because it just opens you more to
different kind of
more opportunities. Yeah, but you do not necessarily have to like know every single thing. There's, I think I probably used Tableau when I was trying to get into data. My company doesn't even use it. Like I've not used it in years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about making money. We can make money. We're making money.
That's the most important.
We're making money this year. We're making money this year. Next year, as we prepare to enter. Great. Yeah. So how did you get your first international role?
How did I get my first international role?
I know you have a whole video on that. I'm going to link it. So highlights.
Key highlights: have supportive friends.
Like me, guys.
Yes, of course. And also join tech communities.
Okay, so have supportive friends, join tech communities.
Yeah, so for the tech communities, they usually post all these international roles, right? And I remember when I saw the role then, because I was still taking some courses, I was still combining it with my 9-to-5 job then, and I felt like I wasn't there yet for me to start applying. And just another tip, you will never get to a stage where you feel like you're there 100%, right? So just apply, to be honest. Because when you also apply, and even if they say no, you also get to like learn 1 or 2 things that can help you with your next application that you can learn from. Yeah. So I remember then I saw the role and I shared with my friend, and I remember I was like, I don't think these people will take me. Then it was like, what's the worst thing? I remember his exact word. It was like, what's the worst thing that will happen? Right. And I remember we were on call that day, and I mean, I applied, and the rest is
history. We're making dollars.
And I've been working with them, since 2022.
Great. So I love that you mentioned that you're working with them since 2022 because you've been also working remotely because the role is remote. So, as a Nigerian, working in Nigeria, doing remote work, I know you know. If you know, you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
Actually, if you don't know, now you know. Share 3 random tips with a remote worker watching this.
just have like a second source of like light. Because Nigeria would disappoint you, NEPA, PHCN would disappoint you, right? And you don't want to be distracted by that little problem, right? And this is one of the things I struggled with initially, right? Like working, then your laptop you need to charge. Yeah, and those distractions doesn't help. Yeah, so I would say get like another source of power so that when national grid collapse, you have something. The next is also just the internet part. I mean, I've been stuck with MTN since, and they've been pretty good, right? So another thing you might also just need to do is to be sure that wherever you're staying, you're using like the best internet that works in that area. The three is also, I think for me, I really don't like people that much. But I also know that meeting people and also interacting people, has its place. So one way that I've been, and I've also seen how this has helped with my productivity, even though I said I don't like to like interact with people that much. So sometimes I just go to coffee shops, or like co-working spaces, and also just meet people that are also doing something that I'm looking to do. And yeah, I would say those would be like my top 3 tips.
No, I love them. I love them. Something I want you to specifically talk about, two things, so you can answer them consecutively. One, I want to talk to you. I want you to spotlight the importance of stakeholder management as a remote worker, and I also want you to spotlight the importance of proactive communication as a remote worker. Especially given she's risen, guys. She's fast rising. She's had like major moves, major progress, major promotions over the last 2 years. So she's talking from experience. We can't give you the numbers. Don't worry about it. Evidence do.
Yes, so for stakeholders management, I think there are like different ways that I had to take to learn this and also get better at it. And especially because I'm also in like a more senior role, so I also work with like junior analysts within the organization. And I think one of them is really just learning from people that have been doing this before I got into this role, and also just pick some of the tips that they've used that helps them. So I like to say that I'm a good colleague. So like even people that we used to work together in my previous company, we still communicate very well till today. And these are people that I've built relationship with that I still go back to them and ask that, how were you able to like manage this and this and this and this? What are the things that you've done? I think that has also helped me to be able to like manage the different people that I'm managing, because I also work with my CEO now, which is like something I've never done before. So that have also been helpful. The second part is also just going on YouTube. There are a lot of videos around how to manage stakeholders, and I pick 1 or 2 things. I try to implement it, and yeah, it has been really, really good. And I think the third part is also, I would say I'm really lucky that I work in an organization where there's like an open communication. Right, there's also that flexibility, that freedom. Like there's no strict way on how you should manage others. So I think that also helped. So yeah, did I answer?
Yes, I think that you've actually successfully answered both. I wanted to ask one more career question, and I think that a way I would ask that is, what's one thing you would love to tell either a remote worker, someone looking for an international role, or someone looking to transition into data analyst that I've not asked you?
I would say try to look into like companies or like industry that do something similar to what you're currently doing. And the only difference between those companies and your current company is just that they are more tech enabled and they're not based here. And I think that's one of the things that also helped me with the job that I said I didn't want to apply for. Because I feel like a lot of people have applied for that role that have way more experience than I did. They've learned a lot of tools. But I think what stood me out was because that industry and my current and the company, there's like a link, right? So even when I was reaching out to like because another thing I also did when I applied, I didn't just apply and let it go. I researched the organization on LinkedIn, and I looked at like the
Yes,
employee section, and I was able to like reach out to one of their employees, and we had like
a
conversation.
conversation.
Even though the employee would say he did not do anything, I honestly feel like he did something because I spoke with him on Friday, and I got a call on Monday that, oh, they've scheduled me for an interview. So I would say if you're looking to like transition, so maybe you work in a company where you guys, sorry, maybe you work in a restaurant, right? And you're looking for like an international role. Look for like companies that are also into food tech. So that when they're saying something about food, you can relate. Yeah. Even though there might not be like that direct link, like they
They've
will
had
be
a lot
able
of
to
you in the
like,
same
yeah,
industry.
like
And they'll feel your vibe. You feel their pulse.
exactly. So I think that would really really help. I think you won't struggle so much if you take that approach. And I think another thing also is when you apply, don't just apply. Look for people that are there. Try to also get, because sometimes you might think you know what a company does by looking through their website, to be honest. But it's when you speak to someone that
I
works there,
realize
that's
that.
when you get the gist. And it also shows when you're interviewing for those kind of roles. So I would say, yeah,
They'll figure out how much research you've done
you've done,
about the
yeah,
organization.
yeah.
Guys, research about organizations. I know I've shared this in an interview before, but if I haven't, like, just research, just go that extra mile. Recruiters also spot out these things.
Yeah.
Right? Great. That's exciting. So we are. It's interesting. This just has been a fast. Is it short? Because look at we are moving fast. Great. Okay, so if you were not doing data analytics, what will you be doing?
I'll be a housewife.
Aha! An allergies, right?
I say just traveling.
You know, and creating content.
1 week, Mama the travel.
Travel content
Content
creator.
creator. No, but I was joking. If I'm not doing data analysis, I will do something that is. I'll do something within the social development space. And I think that's probably one of the things I really, really missed about working in a non-profit, because there's just something exciting about seeing how much your work is actually impacting people's lives. So I think I will probably go around that route. And if I'm not doing that, I think I'll be a teacher. And it's weird because I didn't like teaching while I was growing up because my parents, they were teachers. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that because they were not paying them well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a general thing. And you know, I thought that it was a Nigerian thing.
Yeah,
It's global. And I mean, the reason why it's not so initiative over there is that, you know, the economy is relatively okay.
For
But like
them,
an
yeah.
average industry, like teachers are paid low. That should
Yeah,
be fixed.
but and I mean, I would be a teacher. I think it's something I really really enjoy, and I also feel like my life also changed because someone shared an information. So I also love the fact that I can also be in that position to share something that would change the trajectory of someone's
someone's life.
life. Yeah.
Oh, great. That's exciting. By the way, I know she talked a lot about career transitioning. If you are looking to transition career-wise, you can book a session with me. Let's have a career clarity session and have a career plan and then fix stuff from there. She's a living witness of my career transition plans, right? And consulting sessions. So book a session today. Great. Okay, so wrapping this up, I would ask you one or two more questions
Okay.
and then you will ask me a question.
I have the question already.
That was so proactive. So my first question is, what book or movie would you recommend from people to watch?
I feel like there are two books that really changed my life.
I love how you said it. The book's changed.
Yeah, because they really helps me to see like what is possible. And I think you're the one that I think you recommended the two books.
Best friend of the year, yeah, guys.
I just remember.
Friend of the year, yeah, guys.
Yeah. So the first one, you actually bought me the book.
Guys,
But the second one,
let me brag.
please do. Please do. Then the second one, I think you just mentioned it or I saw it on your status and I decided to go read about it. So the first one is How Not to Worry. How to worry less.
Yes, I remember that.
Because I used to be a warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that book really changed my life. You know when you're reading books and you're like, this author is speaking to me. and the second one is The Defining Decade
Oh my
by
God,
Meg J.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say those two books really they contributed largely to where I am
Oh my
at the
God, I'm so
moment. Yeah.
excited. Guys,
Yeah.
by the way, this is why you should watch my YouTube videos. So I actually have a video titled 10 books you should read in your 20s. And Meg J is one of them. I
I
think
love her.
anybody between 19 and 29 should read The
Yeah.
Defining Decade by Meg
Yeah.
J. And even if
I
you're
feel
over,
exactly that's just what I was about to say. Like,
if you're a
irrespective of
video
your
of your age, even if
age.
you're over 30, I think you should
Yeah.
still read it. But if you're 19, between 19 and 29, you definitely like
You should
bodied,
read it.
capitalized, you should read
should
it.
read
That's lovely. Okay. A movie someone should watch. Hopefully it's not crime.
It's crime.
Hopefully it's not crime.
Go and watch Breaking Bad. But it's crime. I love it.
If you don't like crime, don't watch it.
And it started. I mean, I remember
Is
when
that
I
the chemistry one?
yeah, the chemistry
Okay, yeah.
teacher.
So it has a good script, guys. Yeah, so
Like-
and if you are a science person, you actually learn a lot because she forced me to watch some episodes.
For something that is not non-crime, Game of Thrones. Have you seen it?
No, but
No,
I know
you-
you're a fan.
I actually just watched it like a year or
my
2
God,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
I also didn't watch it when
The
everyone
boss
was
was
watching.
watching it.
Yeah. So
So now that I mentioned, maybe I will consider it.
Okay.
Just give any career advice to any professional.
So the number one tip would definitely be to never stop learning. I mean, one of the questions I usually get on my channel is how people think now that I work as a data analyst, I don't take courses, I'm just there.
She
you
takes
know,
a lot of courses, guys. A
making
lot of
money,
it. At this point,
and that's
ALM
it.
should sort of make her an ambassador. Right?
Yeah, so like there's really no point where you have to like stop learning. Like whether it's taking a short courses or like a long form video on YouTube, like just something that will just keep your mind afresh and it will help you to like grow in your career. I don't want to sound like all these motivational speakers, but like when things get tough, because they will, it's fine to like take a pause, but still have it in your mindset that, or like in your mind somewhere that you will rest, but you keep at it, right? Instead of just giving up and not doing that thing. And I'm saying this because, especially from like a data analyst view, and most times for people that are also looking to transition into this field, they have like they're coming from like a non-tech background, and sometimes learning all these things are usually can be a lot. Right, so when you're at that stage, it's fine to take a break, whether a day, a week, a month, it's fine. But giving up is not an option. Like you have to get back at it. Like there's a goal you're looking to like get into, and you need to like achieve your goal. I think the third thing will probably be as a career professional, you should be open to feedback from people that you work with, from people that you know, from the people that you manage, and also people that manages you at work, right? Because that way you also get like see things that you're not, very like you're not aware of, and a way for you to know is by asking, right? I remember when I started this role, I was really hoping with like asking my manager. I remember then I scheduled like a monthly check-in where the call is really just for me to get feedback. What did I do well in the past month? What are the things she would like me to see? She would like me to do rather in the coming month. And honestly, all the tips, from all the different calls really helps me to like, like I said, I joined the organization as a research intern, and in less than 3 months, they moved me into like a full-time person before it's now an associate, and those are like the things. And I feel like if I've not been doing that checking and really just trying to understand what the things I can do better, I might not have achieved this much level of growth that I have now.
That's really exciting. Great. Okay, so the second. Okay, yeah, we talked about movie and books. Yeah, so the last question is for you to ask me a question.
What are you dreaming about at the moment?
Wow. That's super.
No, so let me help you.
No, okay, help me. I know the answer, but
Okay, go ahead. I thought it would be a difficult
oh
one.
no, it's not. So very clear in my head right now is I want to do a lot of things with women's sports. Before I thought it was just women football, right? But now it's really women's sports. I mean, I'm very passionate about football. I'm very passionate about gender equality. I really want gender wage parity to be a thing. But
Thing of the past.
yes, no, disparity is a thing of the past.
Okay, parity is
Parity
like
is
the
the
goal.
goal,
Yeah,
yeah,
got you.
like the SDG goal. And I've really been dreaming about that, about just being in rooms with stakeholders in FIFA, having these conversations, talking about salary increase. Heads up, I've been doing it virtually. I've been joining Fifth Pro. Fifth Pro is like it's not legislative, it's like a body, that fights for the rights of over 65,000 professionals, right? And I've been getting involved in
Sessions.
conversations, but I don't want to see from outside in.
You want to do both.
I want to be a stakeholder. I want to do a lot of things with women's sports, women football, women basketball, women tennis, and that's something I'm really actively dreaming of.
Why did you start with football initially? And what led to like you going beyond football now?
Very good question. Very good question. I'm passionate about SDG5, gender equality. But when I started my HR career, the part I was really focused on was gender wage parity. I want women to be able to earn at work. I have articles on it. I've spoken at BBC on it, right? But I also love football. I played football growing up. If you watch my YouTube channel, you probably know that already. So the amalgamation of football and my passion for gender equality is why I started from football. But now that I'm deeply entrenched in football, I'm learning about other sports. Let me tell you something interesting. And let me tell you guys something interesting that I really learned. USA passed a rule, and which is why if you watch my video where Franca on governance, what she was saying about governance, USA passed a rule in 2021.
Okay.
It's NIL. It's called Name, Image, and Likeness.
Okay.
The cocoa, I won't go into legal details. If you know me also, you know that I love law and I do a lot of laws. The summary of that rule, that act, whatever it is that as college undergraduates, you can sign deals that make you earn good money. That didn't exist before. So before, no matter how good you are as a college, because in the way America works, you play in college, then you go pro. And a lot of people's life have changed because of that. There's a babe called Floje Johnson.
Okay.
She's a basketballer for LSU. She's done deals as a college student. Same thing happened with Angel Reese. And what that now does is, so let me explain. I wrote it in an application. The way women's sports works is this. More audience, more awareness and visibility, which is where I'm playing right now, leads to more audience. More audience leads to more revenue. More revenue leads to more wages. If there's no revenue, there's no wage.
Yeah, even if they are trying to say we increase our wage, like
where is the money coming from? So we need more visibility, more views, more of those things. So that's the complete cycle. So right now I'm playing in awareness, but the place I really want to play in the wrong is where is the revenue? How do we get more revenue? How do we make women's sport more visible? And yeah, so I really love the NIL rule. Just enabling college, because first, college basketballs are getting deals. Second, their skills, their colleagues are even getting on it. Someone like Angel Reese. Yeah, Angel Reese was a graduate of LSU, now plays with Chicago Sky.
Okay.
When she's going, for example, when she's going to radio shows, she goes with her teammates. When she gets a PR package, she gets with her teammates. When she's shooting, there's a time that she did the content with her teammates.
Okay.
And a very small brand reached out to her.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, this is below me. But you know what?
My
teammates
can take it. Can do it.
And they took it off. So it's a whole lot of sitting revenue that we need to explore. Yeah. So now that I'm learning more about women tennis, women basketball, I'm just saying that it's not just a gap in football.
It's
a gap all
everywhere.
around.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, then thank you guys for watching this. I hope you learned a lot first about data analysis, then a lot more about working in an international role, especially a remote international role. She dropped a lot of gems. I love when she talked about proactive learning, about communication, about stakeholder management. If you missed all that because you are staring at your beauty, please rewind and watch those things. See you.
Thanks, guys.